Hi, Mark here. We're going to spend a couple of minutes today talking about our casting lures. Like our other CharkBait lure products and CharkBait rods, these represent an exceptional value. They're tried and true designs. We have a couple of things that are unique about them, but since again we're eliminating at least two steps of markup along the way, we're able to go factory direct to you. That presents you with a better value. We can also do some upgrading of the products, which we'll talk about, and often come to market with a real good product, real good designs that are priced affordably. A lot more value than a lot of other pieces out there. So we'll go ahead and show off the lures. Okay, we've got a few lures to show off to you. The first I'd like to point out is our Wounded Swimmer lure. Now the Wounded Swimmer is kind of a unique piece. We've used it for lots of different things, but basically one of the fellows, college professor and researcher, kind of showed us something new with this piece. Basically this design is an old Spro product. This isn't the same product, but that's the design of it, and that's why we had them made up. Spro stopped selling them, and when they did, we bought a bunch of them. And because I liked the lures and I wanted to maintain them. Planet, this client of ours, bought a few because he was in a buying mode. He was just discovering long-range fishing and was trying everything. And sure enough, discovered it was a great piece for WhaHoo. It'll catch yellowtail, it'll do well on the vertical drop, it'll do all sorts of stuff. But on WhaHoo, well, this is what one looks like after catching 11 WhaHoo. Pretty well beaten up. Chewed up, but doggone it, the things do work well. So that's a Wounded Swimmer. That was one of the first lures that we came onto market with, and that's what I mean by a proven design that we're able to bring to market at a very good value, lower price than what they initially were. The other piece, if you're familiar with the old mega baits, they were kind of basically a flat, straight slab of metal. We again, given that we're in control of the production, have these made up a couple of different ways. We use better eyes. All of these lures are 3 to 4 times clear coated, so the paint stays on them better. We use a welded ring in the nose. Let me see if I can zoom up a little bit and show those details. Let's see here. Yeah, so there's a welded ring in the nose of the lures, and then we offer them 2 different ways. Well, one way, but you can use them 2 different ways. We include 2 mustad hooks, both a single and a treble, so you can rig it up how best suits your style of fishing. So that would be our metal slider. A lot of guys will fish these on the slide for tuna. They do quite well at that. The other piece that I came out with was our swimmer. Now the swimmer is a little different product here. Let's get these guys back and we can kind of show you what I mean. You'll notice there's a little curvature. It's a skinnier bodied lure, and basically this was a design that was sold in this country under the name Dimara, and basically it was a lure that was manufactured in Poland and then came to Canada and then came into the States. Great lure. I caught some of my best yellowtail on this piece. Given that little curvature, a little skinnier body, the doggone thing drops great with a wonderful flutter. We do some upgrading again on these guys with both the single and the treble hooks, and we also add that welded ring on the nose for your attachment point when you tie on. That gives a little bit better action as well. But that's the swimmer, and we now make these in some very small sizes, less than an ounce. As you can tell, the finish on them is great. We've got a number of different patterns. You can see that little S curve to it. Works well on the cast and retrieve, works really well on the drop. Real versatile little lure. I encourage you to try this one. If you're familiar with this style of lure, like the old mega baits, definitely give these guys a try as well. You'll like them. Great yellowtail lure. Do well on tuna. They'll catch a wide variety of game fish. Another lure here is our little, we call it a berry bomb. And the berry bombs are, again, nothing too out of the ordinary in terms of their design. This is simply, I gotta say, those hooks work. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, and now the berry bomb, if I don't bleed all over the place. I should say these hooks are very, very sharp. Excellent quality mustad hooks, and they will poke you. Again, it's a chunk of metal, chrome plated. Use some reflective tape on the rear. Some very sharp mustad hooks. Great as a cast and retrieve. Bonita will eat them up. Tuna will eat them up, although really made for smaller game fish. We go up there in terms of size. We've got 4 different sizes on the market with these and 4 or 5 different color patterns. Real effective lure, similar to some other products out there. One was the old Cuda Killer, which has been off the market now in California at least for probably 10 years. Fell out on the Riverside, used to make it, and I don't know whatever happened to his designs. But this is a piece that'll do very, very well for barracuda, kings, lots of different fish, kingfish, lots of different fish that like the chrome. I think even WhaHoo would gobble these guys up. Raider jigs. And these are very similar in design there. They're made out of brass. They're basically a slab bait. Do great for WhaHoo. That's what they're intended to be fished for. We use an upgrade mustad hook, and I'm not going to take that hook cover off this guy because if I got stuck by this one, I'm really stuck. We do these in gold and chrome finish. This one is wired up in wire. Some people will do that. I encourage you not to, not just because I'm trying to sell more iron, but because the action is actually better if you don't. What I tend to do is I'll have a couple of jigs wired up in my tackle box just in case I'm in one of those bites where everything's going to get bit and chewed off. And then I fish them without. And so far I haven't had to go back to those wired pieces for some time. Now that may be because I haven't been in a voracious bite where there are, scads of WhaHoo running around. But I've gotten my share of WhaHoo and I've never lost a lure up to this point. That can change here in November on the long range. This lure has done well on the vertical side of things, going for tuna, but it also is an exceptional WhaHoo piece. And so that's why we have it on our casting lure page. It is a great cast and retrieve lure for WhaHoo. We do these in the right patterns. Now this is the larger size. We have 2 in the larger size that have the hole here for use with a light stick. Nice feature. Don't have to do that, and if you needed to have the extra heft that the 2 bigger sizes have for more casting distance, so be it. Don't have to put a light stick in there. Go for the little extra bubble trail you'll get on a fast cast and retrieve. Use these guys on the slide, use them on a cast and retrieve. Great lure for WhaHoo, just an exceptional piece. Again, we rig these with a stainless steel ball bearing swivel in the rear and then a mustad hook. And again, be careful of the hooks. The Torah Tamer lure is familiar design, especially to our guys in the Gulf and the East Coast. There's a product called Cebu Key that was being distributed by, let's just say a Japanese boys club at about $50 unrigged. Wonderful. Expensive lure. Well, we can go to the source too, and we did, and we bring them in huge quantities. And as a consequence, our pricing is a lot better and a lot square. We offer these guys at 15 bucks and at 20 bucks rigged. They are unique. They use basically it's a chambered lure inside. You have 2 magnets. Well, let's go forward. You have lead here and you have lead here in the front. It's a balanced lure, hollow bodied, all through wired, and then you have a magnet in the front and you've got steel on 2 weights. It's a weight distributing system. So on the cast, these weights will shift back, hit the pad. You've got more rearward weight. It'll cast like a bullet. And then at neutral, the magnet will go ahead and suck up one of the weights. And then at that point, now we're riding neutral in the water. You'll go subsurface by about 3 feet or so. And it is a very stable lure. It casts great and it's really effective and it's super, super strong. These things are fully capable of catching tuna, between 1 and 200 pounds. Not an issue.